Welcome there, traveller. Please, take a seat, grab a drink, and enjoy the Sunday session.
I rolled a 5. That's how much fun we're having. It's a good amount.
I got 11.
So here we are, basking in our victory.
Yeah, so last session you guys killed a Dracula.
We killed the shit out of a Dracula.
We killed him twice.
I mean, it was pretty close at a couple of points.
Oh yeah, but
There was highs, there was lows, there's losses on both sides.
There was fun to be had.
But like the genuine ending of that was just like, holy shit, we've got 3 sons and he's just a ghost now and he's just dying.
So yeah, you killed a Dracula, chased him down through his castle, killed him again in his grave soil.
I did a Magneto.
You did a Magneto. We are verbing a lot of names currently, but yep. Yeah, and upon his death, the clouds already started to part in the skies above Barovia, letting the sunshine actually peek through for the first time in living history.
Wick looks up at the breaking clouds and sees the sun for the literal first time in his life, and he's like, "Ah, my eyes!"
There's actually, because you guys have made your way to the battlefield via portal from Mordekainen. And yeah, there is a lot of that.
Bitch slapped.
He's been pretty beaten up.
Picturing a bit of like the end of Avengers Endgame sort of ruined battlefield vibe to this.
Yeah. It's been a pretty gnarly battle. Like, had you guys not finished off stride when you did, there's a really good chance even a few more rounds, there'd be significantly less people left alive.
We did what we could.
You did. But yeah, a lot of the you notice a lot of the Barovian natives are very much unfamiliar with the idea of direct sunlight.
Some of them are just staring at it. They're
Like,
going to go blind.
Sizzle.
It's beautiful.
Is it agoraphobia? No, agoraphobia? What's the one that you're afraid of outdoor? Like,
Yeah, it's agoraphobia.
The angel known as the Abbot has deeply apologized for his actions of late. Has also actually finally leveled an amount of true healing upon the people in his charge. And I think that's about where we left you last week.
That's where we ended.
Where do you see you guys going to first?
I mean, Irina probably.
yeah, I think we said at the end that
You're gonna go. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna go find
We're
Irina.
going to find the
We're
queen.
going to go find the new queen.
Okay. You are tracking through the lines. There are several scenes of sort of post major battle. You have battlefield medics and healers running out and trying to treat those that are severely wounded. Some are there's a lot of battlefield triage going on. Where people are obviously too far gone and they're being left, and others being treated and patched up, and final rites being given to those that have already passed on. As you get further and further back into the backs of the lines, you start to see the walking hut of Babalai Zaka. It is stationary and just sort of propping itself up on sort of a lighter, sort of a lower level hill on the edge of the battlefield. Standing at the base of it is Irina. To her side, Mordekainen is standing and just conversing with her as you guys approach.
I will walk up to present myself in front of Irina, and I'm going to kneel and offer up the hilt of the sun sword to her, saying, to the new queen of Barovia, the sword that slayed Strahd. Sort of like as a sort of coronation thing, really.
This is entirely unnecessary, but she reaches out and sort of, and I'm assuming the actual blade is retracted, the light blade is
Yeah,
retracted.
well, I'm not wielding it, so I'm
Yeah,
just sort of holding it like just the hilt like that.
She grabs hold of it, so like grabs the actual cross guard and the hilt of it and sort of picks it up in her hands. And all three of you just roll me perception.
I got a 12.
Hold on.
20.
20.
13.
I rolled a 4. Wait a minute, I have things.
I'm really good at this.
I'm proficient in
You
perception.
sort of notice it first, like as soon as she picks it up in her hand, like that glow that normally sort of becomes the blade is sort of pulsing, rhythmically pulsing. And observing it for longer and longer, you realize it's pulsing like a heartbeat. But whoop, 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 whoop. And just sort of just like a glow coming from within the sort of the main body of the crossguard and hilt.
I've never seen it do that before. Have you ever seen it do that before?
I cast Detect Magic.
Oh, wait, he had a thing for Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Or like Irina's reincarnation
Soul, yeah.
ancestor. I don't think we have I don't think there's a proper name for past life. Past life.
There might actually be a name for that.
Got there in the end.
All right, Detect Magic.
Yes.
Magic sword.
Well, like, this is something we've never seen it do before, so it's as good a thing as any.
Magic sword.
I get that.
What you get off this is
It's a magic sword?
It's magic. It's divine based.
Simply divine.
I'll let you have your little
That
victory
was
tip
terrible,
there.
and you suck.
This heartbeat thing gets stronger and stronger to the point where you two also sort of notice and realize what that rhythm is. And she's looking at it, sort of holding out at arms, at like a full like outstretched, like looking very surprised at this thing that's happening inside what looks like a broken sword.
This is divine in nature, as far as I can tell.
She sort of holds it out, and the so upright, so like the blade would be pointing upwards, which the blade then bursts forth in a major flash of light, to the point where all of you and everyone looking at this has to either shield their eyes or turn away from the extreme brightness of it. It hurts your retinas. It is extremely painful to look, especially someone who hasn't seen the sun in a while. This is real bad.
I don't
Is
want
this
it anymore.
more than? Is this more than normal?
It's not a lightsaber.
This is well and
anymore.
truly-
Yeah, it's not a cool lightsaber anymore.
It's now a bomb.
So it's well more than it used to be.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Like, this is... You're probably getting a little bit of a glimpse into the experience that Strahd was having in his final minutes.
It's a good thing no one was standing directly in front of her.
Well, she's like holding it like that, and it's burst upwards, and now basically like the light is blinding for anyone looking towards it.
Wick has a tan for the first time in his life.
Just on one side, it's like sizzling slightly. The back of him still looks as pasty as the pastiest goth.
Can I check to see if the crowds around are watching?
Yeah. Well, you're looking in the direction. Anyone that would be looking in that direction are also like like shielding their eyes, but trying to see what's going on. You're doing that thing like
They
it's
start looking in
well
another
bright,
direction.
like you're like
the light on the hill is shining, and everyone's just like, oh.
They look in another direction. Ah, the sun. The sun.
What? There's two of them? Nobody told me that. I only thought there was one.
look at the
like a
D&D
weird-
Tatooine.
a weirdly ironic inversion of the "it never rains, it pours." It's never sun, and then there's two suns.
It's a Barovian proverb.
One sun, two sun, red sun, blue sun.
That also sounds like something that might have been a nursery rhyme on Tatooine.
Actually, yeah.
Like with that and everybody like turning to look at Irina, I think Wick's gonna sort of turn to the crowd and sort of like sort of he's not a big like public speaky sort of guy, but he's like, but behold, Irina, new queen of Barovia, the light in a dark place.
While everyone was distracted, you should have sneak attacked Bubble Saga.
Well, all right.
Done.
Actually, what's Baba Saga doing with that? I'm seriously
You
not
can't
enjoying
see at the moment anyway, because you couldn't be looking in that direction. You hear a voice that sort of stepped in beside you and just yells out in the biggest boisterous sound you've heard. All will be well.
Ooh, like the thing, and then like
that. Is that
chanting-
Mordenkainen doing that, or is that like definitely the Burgermeister?
It's the Burgermeister.
Okay.
And you hear like a small like chant from some of the crowd that are familiar with it, and then he yells it out again. All will be well.
Wait, wasn't that like people were going to like rise up against him for like saying that constantly?
Yeah, but like now it actually is well.
Only because of us.
Wick joins like the call and response of that.
And he's basically he does it like 3, 4, 5 times until the entire crowd is just like chanting with him. All will be well. All will be well. All will be well. And you hear the sounds of just like shields and swords like clanging together, and every bit of noise making that can be done being done. There is just a cacophony of noise and chanting and exultation.
It's sort of like the idea that there isn't like a crown of Barovia now. There's a sword.
I mean, there probably is a crown somewhere. It's just in
Yeah,
the
like
castle,
in an attic somewhere or something.
I'm
Is
leaning.
that one that we stole from the crypt? I still need to identify that because I reckon it's cursed, but I don't know.
The light starts to die away, but not completely. But enough that you can now sort of look towards it without extreme amounts of retinal distress.
Retinal distress is not normally the word you expect in that sentence.
Do we see like the outline of Sergei? Or
That's exactly what you. Well, not so much that, but like standing in before Irina is an armored silhouette.
in very similar armor to what I'm wearing.
Yes, in fact, you would say
It's almost identical, except yours has a tail hole.
this mostly just looks like someone's punched a hole through metal. It's all like
Got
peeled
some
away.
tin snips.
Just don't move the tail too
Can
much
opener.
because you'll just like slice it on the edge, just like those old the old tins, which definitely had a sharp edge after you open them. Mm-hmm. But you see this a good like 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3" human in like this pretty exemplary armor, and is holding the hilt of the sword. The only thing of him that's not made of light is the hilt of that sword. The blade of the sword is light. He is light.
Is he holding it? He's not holding the same sword that Irina's holding.
He's now holding the sword that Irina was holding.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oi, give it back. That's
No, like just jabs Ulrich in the side, just like shut the fuck up.
This is miracles happening.
You see this image, which those of you that are familiar, you guys are probably putting two and two together. You might be slow on the case, but even then, you're getting this. This is Sergei, or at least
I mean,
what remains of him.
We've seen.
You've seen a wood cutting of him,
Didn't his coffin also have like a lifelike?
yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of interpretations of him. So like,
I'm
And we've
wearing
spoken
his
to
armor.
him.
You conjured his ghost, right?
Yeah, like I pulled his spirit from the spirit realm into his body so he could talk to us.
yeah, his body was mostly bone.
He looks a little different now.
He looks a little more light and less bone.
I'm also wearing his armor.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And you're sort of looking at it like you're looking in a mirror. And it's like, that's good.
Smile, like, you turn to us like, who wore it better? Come on, honestly. It's rainy.
That's some rain.
It's pouring.
I get up. I wish it was sunny today though, because it would really suit with this whole thing.
The irony.
The glowing light person bows down and takes a knee in front of Irina, and actually turns the sword blade down and holds it at the ground. Well, just like holds it at the ground, like in a bowing position.
Yep.
Nalik decides it's probably a good idea to follow suit.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yep.
He's a trendsetter.
A voice comes out, and it sounds like a choir singing, but all in unison. And it's just, Tatiana, my love, my wife. It has been far, far too long. And he pauses for some time, and Irina is just standing in front of him, just like jaw on ground, shocked.
I was a fucking queen.
And you can see him hold his head back up and sort of look her in the eye, and it's like how many times have you had to go through life since you were Tatiana? V 7, 8. I've been tortured by my loss of you for more than 4 centuries. And you've had to live through life after life after life without me.
I was growing.
Telepathically, this is a wedding? Is this what you call weddings here?
He, with the hand that's not holding the sword, he reaches out towards her, and she holds her hand out and grabs hold of that
Just
that
rips
often.
the soul out of it.
Yoink! Mine now. Bye.
Betty Hill,
Actually, Strahd. Ha ha! You fell for it.
Betty Hill theme music.
You can see sort of like tendrils of divine power.
This would have
just,
been perfect for last session.
right? Like tendrils of like divine power, just like sort of winding and snaking up around her arm, and then sort of as
He is ripping her soul out.
just relax.
His soul in.
Bow,
it's
chicken
sort of-
bow, wow.
and it starts sort of snaking around her shoulders, and then starts to sort of pour into her chest, and you can see a light. What
My brain is not doing very good things right now.
you can
Get out of the gutter.
Hey, I'd be
This
homeless.
is beautiful and pure.
Yes, it is. It is.
You can see like a light glow coming from within her chest, from within her heart, and it's growing brighter and brighter, and the light starts to sort of just pour out of her. Like her eyes start to glow from behind. Light starts to come from essentially her mouth, basically. Not like a vicious fucking like sunbeam, but it's just like there is light coming.
She's got
from
a Colgate smile going on.
She's now a demigod.
She's got light within her.
She has inner light,
Yes.
inner fire.
He put that light in her.
There's just something about her.
The light dies back down again. And this time,
I did the math on like how, like, it's assuming she lived to about 30-ish. Like how many lives she's gone through.
That's being generous.
yeah,
You don't know.
because I'm assuming
She could have been a crone.
there's a decent chance that Stride's killed her each time.
the light sort of emanating from within her sort of dies back down again. She's now looking directly into his eyes. This time without shock and more of recognition, first off, and then adoration. Countless times, my love. Every time it ended in pain and loneliness.
And where were you for 400 years? Jeez, by myself.
400
Hanging out
years.
Yeah.
in a fucking sword.
Yeah.
You're such a crick in the soul.
But here you are now, back again. In the best of times. My darling, I can't go with you yet. This life has work still to do.
I mean, they can. He can just get back to like being a sword, and she just carries him around. And that,
You can actually see like there's like it looks like you know when you've got like melted like burning plastic, you see the little like drips of like melted plastic on fire dripping down. You can see that sort of thing made of light just dripping off Sergei's face.
Slightly disturbing.
He is crying light. If that is what you desire and that is what you must do, then I will remain here with you until this life's job is done. Whoa. and then he Patrick Swayze.
and then
It's gonna be a little difficult to continue the royal line with like a third wheel ghost hanging around.
I mean, her brother, like, she's got her adopted brother.
I mean, technically, she's
And her
already-
real brother as well.
She already technically has continued the royal line.
Oh yeah, witch queen. Interesting. Cool. All right. Now I'm back on board.
You see like the like tendrils of light start pulling off Sergei and sort of spinning around the blade of the sword and then sort of forming into the blade as like his body is then absorbed by the light.
So it's
and-
now a real blade.
Well, the light blade currently.
I'm a real sword.
And as the light dies down, the hilt and crossguard are still held aloft by a crystalline blade that has a light glow just running down the length of it.
Could have done that earlier.
I could have done that. Just give me some glass blowing tools in a couple of hours and I get that for you in a jiffy.
Wouldn't be terribly usable. I mean,
Have you ever?
it's a glass sword.
It's a
I mean,
glass-
fucking think about it.
It does show you the power of boners. Like he sees her, he gets his glass on.
It's his full sword back again.
Yeah.
Erect. It's a mighty long sword.
Oh, the scene in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep.
Yeah.
The shadow.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't want the sword anymore. It's not that cool.
All right, I feel like it's okay. No, good to know. Good to know. Like, yeah.
She sort of leans forward and grabs the sword up in her hand and looks it over, and just like a couple of tears running down her cheeks, and just under her breath. And only those are the sort of the closest to her is like, it's just a single lifetime this time.
That being said, she just in game rules, she just gained like 10 wisdom points for all of the extra lives that she's just like got memories of now.
Yeah, she's probably at level 20 now, and just
Yeah.
like, I could kill all of you in one shot.
Yeah.
And
And she has a magical extra magical sword.
the other part sort of beautiful is that like all you get off of the sword is like feelings. Like that was all you ever got off the sword was feelings, and the sword loves her. Sort of beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Sort of beautiful.
You do realize there's only one way she can die though. Like if she gets sick, she's gonna have to stab herself with the sword.
Wait, why is there only one way?
Well, how is
she
he
can...
gonna die? Like he's
No,
gonna...
like when she passes on the mortal realm, the sword's probably gonna like break or something, and he'll.
Let's test this theory. Let's stab it.
I'm curious. Hold on a second.
That's what'll happen.
All right,
Stably, let's go.
quick load. We'll get out of this.
You're now guilty of regicide.
You have selected
yeah,
regicide.
She's now become the wisest queen. Like just for the fact that she has so many extra lives now.
Oh, like
Also, her being equipped with like the magicest, brightest holy sword in the land. I feel like now she might be better equipped to keep the witches in line.
Hopefully.
Less worried about that.
Anyway,
as you're sort of looking around the crowd around you, you can see everyone that's able to is down, has taken a knee and is bowing.
I just realised what this has turned into. This is King Arthur now. Because she's got a magical sword. She's got a illegitimate child who
is
Maybe
gonna come-
evil.
who's going to come back and be evil.
There's witches.
There's witches.
I'm fairly certain there's
a wizard.
There's a
There's a
wizard. Yeah,
wizard.
there's a wizard as an advisor. Like,
there was a girl in the lake.
that is true.
No, face slap.
That wasn't a high five. This is a punishment.
But yeah, this has gone from Dracula to Arthur.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Retyping. I really should stop doing that bit.
Did that mess everything up?
You need a fake prop keyboard for that bit.
I mean,
I really do.
Clackety, clackety, clackety,
running
clack.
my iPad. Because it's just loading all sorts of fucking random bullshit at the moment.
Is it a... Okay, no, it isn't. Okay. Trying to do that like with the squishy like roll-on keyboard's gonna be even worse.
What do you guys do at this point?
I mean, we're already kneeling.
Yeah.
So,
I wanted to do a slow clap at some point, but that moment's gone. So
She sort of looks down at you three, but it's like, what are you three doing?
hello.
Why are you bowing?
you're a queen now, and it's kind of important.
And yesterday I was just a person.
Yeah, but this is,
Get on your feet.
as far as the rest of Barovia is concerned, this is your official coronation.
Oh, she's whispering, so basically, people like 2 rows behind you can't hear. It's like, that feels real weird. Come on, please, stand up.
Yeah. I stand up. Assuming you guys do too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as you do, like the rest of the crowd sort of follow suit. You basically have what remains of an army and a nation stand up with you.
See, and this is why I'm leaving Ulrich here.
And
He's a hero to
as we notice everyone else standing up behind us, we get like the
Sort of-
yeah.
I'm imagining.
We did this.
We're all just standing
It wasn't
there
us
with
being
erections.
told to stand. It was us.
You guys have an opportunity to sort of observe the space at this point. Where are you looking? Rather than me telling you what you see, you tell me where you're looking.
I'm gonna try and see what Baba Saga's up to.
Okay, Wick.
I think I'm gonna search the crowd and see if
Papa is there.
Papa.
If you're old man.
No, I think I'm gonna search the crowd and see if I can find what's his name? Monster Hand guy.
Oh, Izek.
Izek. See if Izek is there in the crowd. Sort of make eye contact with him.
Wave him over.
No, just sort of like just making eye contact with Izek and maybe just like a nod and a bit of a sly grin.
And Nalag?
Alex just going to step to the side. He's going to stand near Mordenkainen and just quietly observe.
What area are you observing?
Nothing in particular.
You gotta pick something.
He's
I
just
don't have to pick
It's
anything.
like Nalag goes into soft focus. He's slightly cross-eyed.
Nalag has actually
he's-
died. He is tired. He's just going to bask in the glow of a good moment.
Enjoy the moment, and then a dark thought comes over you, and you look towards the mountain with the amber temple,
No, he doesn't.
and a pole casts.
He's going to be chill because he's earned,
5 goddamn seconds.
he's fucking earned it.
I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure. Okay. So, Ulrich, you can see sort of the shadow of Baba Lysaga sort of shuffling around within her hut. And you can hear occasionally the sound of tins or glass or anything that's sort of rattling around. She is busying herself with something inside.
Cool.
She's very obviously not out with this whole theatre production.
We hear the Breath of the Wild cooking music.
Yes. No. She's not. She's more shuffling around. She's more shuffling around trying to find something. It's not the sound like she's preparing something. She is more scrambling through to try and find something. Do you do anything with that, or just holding that thought in your mind?
Yeah.
Wick,
Hi.
you cast your eyes over the crowd, and beyond that, you can sort of still see the battlefield proper, and there are still battlefield medics and healers crawling over. There's also a few soldiers going through and coup de grace-ing those who need to be done, and one of them is Izek. He is out there, unarmed.
For a second there, I thought you meant some soldier was like coup de grace Isaac.
They're basically going out and basically any of the enemies that are still sort of trying to crawl away or anything like that, just make
Like
sure
a half werewolf is like. He's like,
They're cooing those who need to be degraded.
Yes. Yeah. He hasn't got a weapon of any form, but every time he goes up to someone, he basically just punches through them with his new mechanical prosthetic.
Well, I should assume that can turn into a sword.
Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
No, this is just
Or a
straight
big
as-
hammer.
This is bludgeoning type damage
Alright.
and somewhat piercing damage because he bludgeons so hard.
Is it regular arm size or is it like a big bulky sort
It's
of?
a bit bulkier because it's just the mechanics that have gone into it, but it's essentially a couple of articulated pistons.
Fuck yes. I love it. Did I spike? Did I spike on the?
A little bit. You peeked out.
Alright.
So yeah, he is out there basically getting sort of wrist deep in it. What?
Just with the other thing, it's a little gross.
Nalag, you have just a moment. This is the first moment of actual peace you have experienced in your memory.
Were you going to say miserable life?
I was gonna try and add like you have memory as a adjective rather than a noun. For your entire life, anytime you've had a moment of quiet, that quiet has been broken with just the sounds of whispers and direction. This time is just stillness, calm, and it's unfamiliar, a little scary as you're sort of getting used to it.
Nala gives Mordecai a look of like,
What do
what do?
I do? What now? Unfortunately, you are standing on the side of Mordekainen's bad eye. So you sort of give him a sort of a look, and he doesn't even notice you're there because you are now sort of on eye covered side of him.
Get bandages over.
Yeah, he's got that bandaged up all the side, like you can see basically the blood coming through where his eye would have been. Like, he's had a rough time, but he is holding himself in a position of sort of pride, even though he so desperately wants to lie down.
Has a sip of whiskey. Not that whiskey though. Just the regular whiskey.
You start seeing some of the known and named people that you have encountered through Barovia start to sort of emerge from the crowds. You've already seen, you've seen Izek in the distance. Mordekainen and Irina are up with you, as well as the abbot. He's around that space. You obviously don't see Rictavio.
Be weird if we did.
You'd know that the burgomaster burgomaster of Valaki is there with you. You don't see Ismark. Who else is in that list? Irina's brother.
Ah, yep.
You also don't see Blinsky.
Blinsky, no.
I mean, he could just be somewhere else.
Did Blinsky fall?
Are you asking someone?
Yes. I'm asking whoever's near me.
The nearest to you would be the
Not Irina.
it's not Irina. It's Baron Velokovich, the burgomaster of.
Yeah, I'll ask
Valaki.
him.
No, the toy maker. He's fine. He's back at his workshop. He's been equipping and sending more reinforcements as fast as he can get them out. He's not a frontline fighter. That one.
I don't know. I've seen he's a menace with a wrench. That one. I wouldn't want to
Which
get
is why he's in
his
the
bad
back line equipping us. By the way, did you happen to keep my ring?
side. Ooh. See, there's a problem.
I mean, yeah, I've got the ring.
The diamond's gone though. He sort of takes one look at it and goes,
I think Nalag owes
Yeah.
you a debt of thanks for
Yeah.
the diamond sword.
Yeah, him and his neck.
It was like
so he fell.
a little bit, and then
He got better.
He got better.
Malik just does like the 2 thumbs up thing.
and like arm over the burgomaster's shoulder. I'm like, and it was vitally integral to our victory. You and your family's antique ring played a vital part of the fight against Strahd. That your contribution is what enabled us to save the day. And now, while I've got your attention, have you put any more thought into those emeralds I was talking about?
My boy, take a breath.
So old habits, you know how it is.
You were
It's
more
fine.
useful than Rictavio.
Oh,
Speaking of, what... Rictavio,
Ooh.
what... Did you see him?
Just a little bit.
Well, yeah, we saw it. We
Yeah.
saw a lot of him.
Yeah.
he fell.
Yeah.
He rushed in and was
a little bit there.
He
a
was
little bit over there.
he was the last life that Strahd ever took.
Second last, because he took his.
Well, no, he's all right.
I mean, he still took his life.
Well, no, but he didn't take his life because he's still alive. That's not how that works. Anyway, I was having a moment. I was
we're
having
just
a moment.
bickering on top of a hill while I'm assuming most of the peasantry is still just in awe of what's going on.
Rictavio rushed in and was laid low by Strahd.
Rictavio rushes in.
Honestly, I'm probably glad that you used my ring on this one rather than Rictavio. He abandoned his post and ran off for personal glory, as he was warned not to do.
He also got ripped pretty thoroughly in half, so it would have been hard to put him back together with just a diamond, as it was. Not to be too graphic about it, but it was actually he got eaten pretty thorough. I wanted to be very gallant and like poignant about it, but he got just drunk in pieces.
Do we need to be sending some sort of holy man in for...
I mean, a funeral service probably wouldn't do amiss, but
Yeah, he ain't coming back as a vampire.
I feel like sanctifying that whole castle top to bottom, with a holy scrubbing brush, is sort of what we got to do, regardless.
That's our next step. Before anyone takes up new residence in there, that place is getting a full deep clean, COVID level deep clean.
I might need someone to look at this as well. I got a little grazed by Strahd at one point. It's just
Speaking of investigating the castle, would we be able to do some more investigating ourselves? There's probably a couple of traps that we'd want to make sure aren't there anymore.
Of course, but I'm sure you'd want to rest at least before you go back in.
Of course.
But you want to loot the place?
Of course I do.
he wants to grab the sides and turn it and let all the treasure run out into a big net.
A big Nala-shaped pocket.
Just get a trolley fridge and just put the thing on the trolley fridge and just take the entire castle.
We want to do the thing where you get a trolley and you've got a 5-minute timer to run in there and grab as much treasure as you can.
Or basically shopping for toilet paper at Coles.
Yeah.
If you're in Victoria still.
I'm
Everywhere
glad you guys caught on to what I was getting at. I'm not exactly good at being subtle. But we do genuinely need to look for traps and extra tricks, because there's probably something in there.
Sure.
It's probably going to be easy.
There is going to be all number of things still lurking in the dark corners of that place.
There's probably still a lot of bats. You want to get rid of the bats. They usually carry rabies.
Skeletons.
There's probably a good number of skeletons in closets.
Creepy little robots.
Yeah, little robot toys.
Robot toys?
There was a creepy little robot sort of clown thing.
This is a matter that Blinsky asked us to look into anyway. He knows more about it than we do.
Fair. When you get back to Valakir.
We did save a piece of that.
The head.
Yeah. Do I need to get someone to have a look at this? I did get a bit nicked. It's a little bit hazy. I can't quite remember how it happened.
You see him sort of staring at you, and it's up above his head. He's just signaling over.
There's a bit in the middle. I don't know, heat of combat sort of thing. I don't really remember too well what happened in the middle there.
I mean,
and I think I got a little
cure wounds.
I got a little bit hit. I think he just might have got with a 2-pronged salad fork sort of thing in the neck here. It stings a little still. Paladin did his job, but it does sort of. Oof. Is it bad? I can't really see.
You see who he's signaled to, which is the angel.
I was about to say, just get the angel over here. He'll do a better job.
And the angel sort of just turns his head, and you also notice for the first time, the eyes are basically just silver.
Cool.
There's no pupil to them; they're just a mirrored, finished silver.
I don't believe we've met. My name's Wick. I was
I go by the name of the abbot. What has happened to you, my boy?
Oh, we slayed a vampire.
That's what's done this then.
Oh, I think so. I don't really. It's a little hazy. I mean, you guys were
You
there.
did trip at some point. It might have been on the stairs.
It's probably a good idea just
Might
to
run
make
into
sure
a
none
door.
of us have any kind
It
of
was-
curse on us from
It was
Strahd.
while we were fighting Strahd, and I sort of don't really. There's a middle bit there that I don't remember so great, but yeah, I got it's like
He sort
did
of reaches out
Did he
and
just
just
sort
like
of graze
grab-
me with like some kind of mace sort of thing?
He
or-
grabs hold of your head and just like puts his thumb against your forehead. And you see what you guys see is just a slight little glow, and you feel the sort of the mist of that few rounds just sort of lift, and you feel your memories are now sort of almost being puppeteered, like you were there, but not wholly in control of your actions, and you were gonna defend Strahd.
That doesn't sound like something I would do.
And then when he asked to bite your neck, you willingly opened your collar.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't sound like me, but that does sort of make sense. I mean, he does do the boogity magic sort of thing.
The
So
boogity magic thing. The boogity magic thing.
And you see the abbot sort of like turn his head and look at the wound on the side, and he just sort of gets two fingers in and just like licks the ends of each of them and just like presses against these two puncture wounds.
Just COVID safe, Angel. Come on.
And you feel like just like this sort of slight heat.
Ooh.
And then when he pulls away, like, there is no scar. There's no wound remaining whatsoever. Like, it is
A handy
smooth,
chap to have around.
including like there's you had a little flesh tag that was the little skin tag that was there. That's gone now.
If
I only say that because I literally wrote my felt a skin tag on the side of my neck. I went, I'm gonna throw that in for flavour.
There's like a scar you got as a kid that's just gone.
I mean, I actually died during that fight. You mind checking me for anything as well?
You appear to be alive.
I don't like some kind of curse.
Hold
or
on,
Maybe
hold on.
they bit my body while I was dead. I don't know.
Well, let's. We really needed this last session.
Oh yeah.
You got some diamond running through your veins, sort of thing, like a little bit of a charge of like the blood of Mars running through there.
Cocaine.
Okay.
You've been recently brought back from the Vale.
Yeah.
You're going to feel there are some things I can't help with us, and you're just going to be a little run down for a little bit.
Fair enough.
Being brought
He's been mostly dead all day.
mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Only mostly dead.
You're going to feel sluggish for a little bit, but you'll be all right. A couple of days of decent rest, and you'll be back to your usual self. If that is something that you want.
My usual self's not exactly something I know.
Huh. Tomorrow, when you've rested for a night, come see me. We'll see what we can do.
Is he gonna be like a psychologist and help me work out my mental problems?
Tell me about your mother.
It's gonna be that. It's also gonna be a rectal exam.
And there'll also be cocaine, because this is Freud.
So you wanted to fuck your mother, and you have your father's penis envy.
I prescribe 3 enemas.
Of
Cocaine. And then tell me how you feel.
Fucking great!
My butt hurts! I think I did the suppository wrong.
No, it's analgesic.
Oh, really? Right.
No, it's analgesic.
Ah, yeah.
Ah, like butts.
We're idiots.
We had a very serious beginning to this session. I feel
We needed some light-hearted levity.
I was expecting like Wick was going to be like getting around with like high collars and scarves for the rest of his life.
It still can. That's his own fashion choice.
All right.
It doesn't want that to happen again. From Ferrer on, he's wearing like the neck
the
equivalent,
bows.
the neck equivalent of a chastity belt.
Oh well, now I'm picturing like the all black like ninja attire, but the incredibly long red anime scarf.
Just made out of feathers.
You really wanted to just be a burlesque dancer, don't you?
Yes.
If you want a burlesque dancer in the game, then Narlag can be a burlesque dancer. That's fine.
Oh my
That's-
god, that'd
that's
be the
your choice.
greatest like elven blade dancer. Is just also like a burlesque dancer,
Hell yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you get it?
Like the katana like fans with the knives on
Yep.
them that's spinning.
I mean, like Narlag is going to be changing from being a hobgoblin to something else. So I could be an elf with expertise in performance.
It does make you a blade dancer.
He
That
can,
is a-
he can dance with knives. Technically, yes.
He can dance if he wants to.
I like you. You're starting a new page of your life. You're adopting a new standard form for your shifty changeling ways. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm all ball for that. That's great.
And a new Welsh accent.
You might have predicted what I was going to pick for the accent.
Yes.
I still haven't decided.
just a poor farmer.
I'm just a poor farmer. Don't mind me. Don't mind the big still I got out the back of me cart.
Still making like booze though.
I don't know.
Just not bad booze.
Beer. Now transition to beer. Learn from the best beer brewers in Barovia.
That had a lot of alliteration going on there.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make that mayonnaise beer I've heard so much about.
Oh my god,
Mayonnaise.
sounds like
Still
the worst.
Anyway, let's move on.
That was an angel.
Thank you. He goes back to basically doing what he was doing, which is triage over the battlefield. He's
I took literally no damage during the fight, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
You're a T-Rex, then you're Ulrich, then you're a lizard, and then you're Ulrich.
Took damage.
It's just
as
never
a
as-
T-Rex
and
and
as
as
a-
a lizard.
He took damage as lizards.
Yeah.
Don't be like that.
You
We
took damage
definitely
as damage as a terrible lizard, and then as a terrible lizard. Thank you.
I think if there's now like formalities going on here and we've been hailed as heroes, I think like heading back to Valaki is like next on the agenda. I
When's
think
the medal ceremony?
is that now? We're getting
That'll
medals?
be after we've looted the castle.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah. We'll just give ourselves heaps of medals.
At this
anything
point
we
here,
find.
yeah, if you guys want
Well,
to
we're in
head off from
50.
this, because at the moment, this is not going to be a coronation on a battlefield. That is the worst time to do it because there are so many people's friends bleeding out and dying on the battlefield. It's not exactly
It's
the
patriotic.
I think Wick actually wants to like slip out of the limelight. Like he's done the moment and now he's just like, I don't like everybody looking at me
And
like,
knowing your face.
Narlag as well.
Is this an opportune time for us to sort of like break up and go? I actually think Wick would turn into a raven and fly back to the inn in Valaki. I think that's where he would go after this. To like,
Yep.
If we're doing down, I'll probably go and help the battlefield medics and stuff like that. Like go and help the angel.
I don't know where the cart was left. I can't remember if it was left in Barovia or in
Barovia village.
Yeah, so Narlag said it's Barovia.
I think that works. Like us like splitting off and doing post raps.
Before we get together and do whatever else we do with the castle. Who wants to go first?
Okay. I'll go first.
I mean, his involves the least amount of travel time.
True. You start basically going through. You start at the first corner you can see without other people already working in it, and you're crawling through or trawling through these piles of various.
Well, is there like a battlefield hospital or something around, or is there like any kind of formal?
You can see most of the healers that are running off for supplies if they need anything are going back to the battle lines to essentially wherever the sort of the supplies caravan was, and like grabbing what they need and going back out. So if they run out of bandages, they run over to that and then back out again. You can see there is essentially a quartermaster managing that side of things at the cart. So if you check in there first,
Because I might try and grab a few people and be like, all right, you're helping me move these people. Like, I'll essentially stabilize anyone who's out in the field, and just so we can cut them back to a central medical.
you met up with the quartermaster, who is basically coordinating things at this point. The war is over now. The cleanup is done. It is underway. He has everyone with any ounce of medical know-how out in the field treating the wounded.
I take over.
Okay.
I mean, this is my jam.
Yep.
Like, battlefield medical, yeah. And I'm kind of trying to put up my what's the word, like celebrity kind of a little bit.
Okay, so it's getting known out there. So essentially, the quartermaster is like, oh well, Sir Knight, of course, if you can, curry favour of your deity out in the field, you're more than welcome.
You're doing the George W. Bush in like the ruins of 9/11 sort of thing with all the people there, all the first responders.
I'll continue to coordinate the stores, but if you coordinate,
Doing a
things
good
on
job there.
Thank you, sir. Do you need anything before you head out?
I mean, yeah.
I've just been doing kits of bandages and
I'll like rattle off a list of stuff I would.
He says essentially like quickly packs you essentially a medical bag.
Setting yourself up as the new general of the Barovian army.
That's pretty much what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
You head out into the battlefield proper, and basically, it's a pretty ad hoc operation currently. The abbot is doing what he does, which is what he believes is necessary, but he doesn't take direction very well.
Okay. Well,
so he's basically like going along like, you're alive, you're too far gone. He's like, zap, better, not good, and just basically But everyone else, there is just a real confusion amongst the ranks.
Okay. Basically, I'll try and set up like a base of operations kind of thing, where we can get people back to be a central area that we can go. All right, this is where all the healers are. Mm-hmm. Everyone's being moved to here to be healed.
Yep.
And then I'll go out with a few extra healers into the field and essentially make sure people are stable enough to get to there.
Yep.
And then and then I'll hint to the abbot that he should be in this central area.
Essentially, just like heal.
Yeah.
Don't be out there finding them. We'll bring them to you.
A conveyor belt of injured people.
That's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, you're setting up a field hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is something that no one had actually considered actually doing.
It's weird that the guy well versed in warfare knows how to treat injuries.
I cause a lot of them.
A lot of Strahd's forces were werewolves, right? I'm not there. I can't really. Can the angel cure werewolfism? Is that a thing?
We'll get there.
Okay. I just thought that was interesting. Instead
Also,
of coup de grace the werewolves, be like,
I won't be.
You're not a werewolf anymore.
If there's
Hummin.
anything humanoid or something that
Destroy the
well, actually,
humanoids.
anything basically, unless it's clearly an evil creature, I'm going to just send to the field hospital to be cured.
So
You're basically out there. You're out there, and you've now coordinated a stretcher train. There's basically there what was just like a real mess of just people running around. It's just a panic trying to do what they can. You now have got it coordinated.
Yeah, and anyone who's healed and
you as a
ambulatory-
military man, you've been a military man since you're not long after you are a hatchling. You are like coordinating things. Things are moving systematically.
Yep.
So basically, as fast as you can load up stretchers are coming back out into the field.
Yeah, and if people get healed and they're ambulatory, they're helping.
That's essentially what's happening. You're now getting a rolling force of people coming in. So those that are just recently healed, a lot of them are still they're not full capacity, but they're definitely able to help.
Yeah. This is
and
what I'm good at.
appreciative as well. You start going through it, essentially doing your best for battlefield triage.
I mean, I've run out of spell slots and healing. I'm just
You're now just
yeah,
directing. You come across a series of bodies and like, no, too far gone, and basically just point out like these ones are dead. They're for the pyres.
But even those, like, we get them moved into like areas.
That's also something that's happening. There are several funerary pyres already being built on the northern side of the battlefield. They're just large racks of timber, and just like they're loading up a line of bodies, and then another layer of timber is laid down for the next layer of bodies. It's a kind of a layer cake of corpses.
I removed the sun sword from my equipment. Oh, thank you. Because I don't have it anymore.
You don't.
I should probably remove it from mine too.
You give me a perception roll.
Ooh.
1. I got 2, but it's a -1.
Ooh.
You are sort of going through and it's like, this one's immediately, quickly, this one here. This one can wait 5 minutes. This one for the pyres. This one, oh my. And you're looking at the mangled form of Ismark.
Oh no.
Ooh, bugger.
He gonna be okay?
You got another diamond?
Only if he was killed in the last minute.
You can see that
I'll probably still send him off to
his-
try and be healed.
his chest has been raked across by like heavily clawed hands. Like this would have been like hybrid werewolf
Yeah.
mauling. He has no sign of life.
If I recognise them and they're important, I'll probably still try and send them to be healed.
Is the Lich King pooping?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, fair enough. Ice throne cistern.
The frozen throne.
You quickly get the stretcher chain to grab Ismark and expedite him to the I'm struggling. Expedite him to the field hospital. You're getting a couple of confused looks because everyone that sees him
I just say it's
knows he's dead.
I would just say it's the Queen's brother.
Oh,
I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember him. He seems important.
he has a name.
All humans look alike to me, but I think I remember this one.
Like check his collar. Ismark. I think I remember this one.
Hello, my name is Isma.
Check his wallet. If found, please return to Ismark, Burgermeister of Barovia.
Yeah. No, I'd say it's the Queen's brother. He needs to be looked at.
You, at that point there, what do you do?
Well, okay. So is everything now like kind of?
It's sort of
everyone's got their
regimented.
own
Like
tasks?
everyone's
Yeah.
got their own tasks.
Right.
Everything is somewhat coordinated.
I'll escort him back to the field hospital.
You follow this stretcher all the way back. As soon as it comes in, the abbot takes one look at it. Look at Ismark and goes like, "This one is dead.
It's the
Paladin.
Queen's brother. I was just seeing if there was anything.
Death comes to everyone
Okay.
eventually."
No, we fight back.
We can just put him at the top of the pyre, like as like a VIP kind of thing. Oh, is
This one important to things?
He's important to the Queen,
So yes.
so probably.
I mean, he has a town to run. He's local government. He's kind of
Yeah,
important.
he has a name.
I mean, they all have names, dude. They all...
You don't know name. They
I
get
mean,
attached.
human 1, human 2, human 3.
Maybe Ulrich isn't actually a name; it's just his rank.
He is an Ulrich model Dragonborn.
Lightning powered. Oh, he's a hybrid.
Registration number Smite B0RN.
This is how we funnel the channel into him being a robot next.
That's why he spits electric.
It's Mimeron.
Yeah, he's important to the Queen. And he runs one of the cities here.
Yeah. I can attempt to bring him back, but that is... Well, it's a lot more draining on my powers. If you want this one back, I may not be able to help others that need help. This is one of the hard decisions. As
That's a timing based thing, right? So the longer we leave it, the harder it's going to be.
the longer you leave it, the less of the others I'll be able to help. The harder it will be to bring him back, if he wants to come back at all.
No, I'm not able to commune with the dead at all, am I? Wait.
Do you know that, though? Now I can talk to ghosts. I'm sure I can. Wake up!
Say something in a weird way, like you got breath, but you don't.
Well, you can't do that anymore.
It was more just,
No, I can't do that anymore. That was a warlock thing.
I can lend you some energies to talk to his spirit to see if he wants to come back.
You gotta make the hard calls. Sometimes a general has to make the hard calls.
Well, I am making... This is the hard call, is... Try to get him
make,
back.
You're
Because if he doesn't...
you're hedging about, like, talking to him. You gotta decide. You gotta decide to save the man, or...
Save the
Well,
noble.
I wouldn't expend the energy if we weren't going to try and save him.
No, but like, okay, save
This is
the
the
noble,
decision.
save the people.
Yeah.
What-
setting a precedent now.
What's more important for your oath of conquest?
Saving the noble. I'm going to try and save the noble.
That is your decision. This is a decision, and your decision will have consequences one way or the other.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The abbot will remember you did this.
The Queen will remember I did this. She won't be...
There is also that. He sort of takes your hand as you sort of offered it as a symbol of power, and you feel the last sort of vestiges of your holy energy sort of slip away from you and into him.
For the day, I hope, not in general. Like...
And that's a serious rap on Ulrich. No.
Yeah, you are dead.
Dehydrated husk of Ulrich drops to the ground.
Yeah, so it's
and
a life...
shatters into dust.
So a life for a life. Okay, cool.
You feel tapped out, probably for the day.
Yeah.
Probably.
Need a cup of tea and an Energizer battery to munch.
You sitting on that for a while, or is that one off the cuff? Because I like it either way.
D cells.
I feel a good boy. I get a D cell. You know those big fuck off the 12 volters.
Yeah.
Has a bowl of like watch batteries on his desk, like M&Ms.
Yeah.
Just grab a couple.
I love this.
The lithium is particularly good this year. As he's like, because lithium is also an antidepressant. Okay. He then holds his hands to Ismark's chest, and you can tell that the sort of the last remnants of your power, as well as a good portion of the abbot's power, are pushed within the body of Ismark. And ever so slowly you start seeing like the deep raked wounds across his chest start to sort of like fire off fibers between each side and start to stitch themselves back together. And just as the last little parts of those start to pull together, you can see the heart that had been exposed in this as an attack for the first time just move again as that wound gets pulled closed. Ismark sort of gasps and his eyes pop open, and the pallid complexion that he had starts to sort of rejuvenate back to like regular blood flow, and he sits up like panting, like
Hey, buddy. How you going?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Do you need a drink?
where are we? Where what is
You might be a bit parched.
is
Have
this
some water.
Is this the afterlife?
Bit of a sucky one if it is, but no. I'm Ulrich. We met earlier. I'm the dragon one.
Well done. I know you were after Strahd. If you're here and I'm here, then here must be purgatory?
Could be. I mean, we did kill Strahd, and
Wait,
we're
it's done.
yeah. He's gone now. That's old news.
Then how am I here? I swear
You took a bit of a wound. Couple of wounds.
He then sort of turns his head over and sees the abbot looking at him, and then quickly starts like scrambling backwards, trying to get away from him. He's like, no, get that thing away from me!
This is the angel abbot.
That thing attacked us!
He's good now. He's helping.
He is basically like scrambling, trying to find wherever his weapons are, but of course they're not on his side at this point. They're probably still sitting in the middle of the battlefield.
You sort of need a waist to be able to have a belt with a scabbard on it, and he didn't really have a waist before.
Most of his clothes have been shredded through.
You're in a field hospital. It's not that long after the fight. He's helping now. He's good.
This has to be some sort of trick. This one, and it's monsters attacked.
Yeah, they did. They did do that, didn't they? I kind of give the angel a bit of a stern look.
The abbot sort of averts his gaze a little bit, and then sort of like bows his head and is like, My vision has been blinded for many centuries.
Yeah.
I was directed to protect the Lord of the Lands. That was my last directive from my creator. And Strahd was the Lord of the Lands, whether rightful or not.
But now
And
that's
my creator's word is law. For me, I cannot disobey.
But now you're still following that directive because you're following what's her name?
Now that Strahd is
I've already forgotten her name.
Arena.
Yes.
now that Strahd is removed, my connection with my creator is returned.
Yeah.
And boy, was my phone blowing up.
Yeah. Boy, was he pissed.
It's just like 4 centuries of just like, the fuck are you doing? Why are you not checking in?
Yeah. I'll like motion to the angel to
Please
kind of,
respond. Please respond.
To
Please
kind of-
respond. Fucking respond or you're fired.
I'll give the angel a bit of a nod and say like thank you for your help and like kind of direct him back into the
You can sort of tell, like there's a noticeable reduction in light coming off the angel. Like this has drained him substantially.
yeah. Maybe it's,
But he does return back to what he was doing.
Yeah.
But you can see that he is now actually sort of showing signs of tiredness.
yeah. But we do have more than him there as a
Yeah.
medic, so you know.
But he's also
He was also
The
the main,
significantly
yeah,
most
yeah,
capable.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Yeah,
but
well,
like,
there was There was at least 2 other priests that were there, and I'm assuming there's a couple of people trained in medicine that can help stabilize people. And maybe one other person that knows how to cast healing touch or something.
Essentially, anyone with any sort of, like I said, any medical know-how is out there doing things. The angel is the best at it. Yeah. But
So yeah, I'll stay with Ismark and say, yeah, you're a bit wounded. Maybe have a drink. I'll give him some water.
so we'll leave you there in the field hospital tent, tending to Ismark.
Yep.
And answering any questions that he asks, which is essentially how did it happen. Like he's basically wanting the recap of the fight,
I'll give it to him as
All
I
All
know
the
it.
gory details.
all the gory
I'll
details.
give it to him the way Ulrich would give it to him.
He turned me into a lizard.
I was a mighty beast of a Tyrannosaurus, and I bit him in half, and then I was a little lizard, and I attacked him viciously from below.
And there were other people there.
And also Wick was there, and the other one, I've forgotten his name.
He was 3 different lizards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
All right. Who was next, and what were they doing?
Guess I'll go. Nala gets back to Barovia? How long is that going to take?
Not long. This is in the fields not far north of Barovia.
Okay.
It's basically just a little bit over the river, and then you're in there. So if you're walking, probably a couple of hours.
You'd be doing it with a convoy, though, I assume.
There's
There'd be a fair few people.
there's a fair few people heading back to.
Yeah.
People spreading the news.
Yeah.
No,
And here's the thing: every time someone walks past you, everyone's greeting you like jovially with the "Oh, be well," clapping you on the back, and everyone is in the best of moods.
Nala's very confused right now.
Well, I assume everyone has a soul now. Maybe.
That's something that to
That's something we might not ever know, because there was a lot of people that didn't have souls.
do we find one of the soulless and cut them open to see if we can find their soul inside of them,
They're like their creamy nougat center.
like their creamy nougat center?
Tasty.
Cut them open, weigh all the constituent parts, and figure out which part was the soul. That's like a philosophical thing.
See if their heart weighs more than a feather.
Yeah, there we go.
Um,
You asked a pretty deep philosophical question. Is what I'm getting at.
after
Does anybody have a soul, really?
After probably regaling the general populace with the fight about Strahd, Nala finally gets back to the
You
car.
essentially get like you have a crowd following you. I was just following behind you as you're talking the story, and every now and then it's like some people like sort of peel off from the front of the group and let other people get out there and hear. You basically, by the time you've reached the town of Barovia, you've told the story probably a good 5 or 6 times
Yep.
to new crowds every time. You've got a following.
It's a good thing I'm skilled in performance.
Yes, because by the 5th time over, you're like, and then this happened. And then this happened.
Like somebody else comes up, you're like. So anyway,
And there we were. Castle wall broken down. I was riding a goddamn T-Rex. And it was, what's a T-Rex? It's a lizard, just bigger and more teeth.
Yeah, Nala gets to the inn where his cart is parked, and he's like, "Thank you all very much for coming with me and listening to the tale."
Now, who wants to buy drugs?
I'm imagining Nalag sitting down at the end of the day and being like, "Time to kick up my shoes and share a drink with." Oh,
Myself.
Yeah. In about a day or two, I'm gonna have some herbal remedies available in case anyone's having any particular troubles. Poultices and whatnot. If you get an infected wound or anything, so come by them. In the meantime, I've got a lot of work to do.
if you need anybody to look at your weird tentacles,
You approach your
offering a refund policy for my previous products.
an exchange a buyback
No
scheme.
refund.
It's an exchange program.
Yes, an exchange program. Like Nala still has a fair few bottles of that stuff. I've got plans for that.
You approach your cart. Can you roll me perception? This is hearing based.
That is a 9.
That is a 9. As you sort of, the crowd's sort of milling around you, distracting you, and then there's this constant sort of clamoring to be near you and hear the story again. And just general crowd noise. It's not until you get almost to the back door of your enclosed cart that you can hear the sounds of shuffling and glass moving inside. Just the sound of every now and then you just hear like the sounds of like glasses clinking together.
I'm checking my spell list. What can I do? I've actually still got a fair amount of spells left. Spells.
At one point you hear, "Ah, damn it!"
It's probably not Dave.
I cast Shadow Blade
Right.
at the same time as opening the door.
What does Shadow Blade do?
So I cast it at 5th level.
Uh-huh.
So Shadow Blade, I weave together threads of shadow to create a sword of solidified gloom.
Alright.
It's like
The gothest sword in the world.
It's solidified.
This is the sword made
Yes.
of my own blood and cigarette butts.
that's actually what it says in the spell description is solidified gloom. It's a reverse sun sword.
Thanks for
How
enjoying
is
that one,
a
Ross.
shadow? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gloom. This is the gloomiest sword.
Yes, the
It is so mopey. Why did you summon me?
Yes.
Life is pain.
As you play it, it's like there's a gentle humming coming off of it, and you put your ear to it, and it's Sisters of Mercy playing.
Does the shadow sword cut itself?
It's just Robert Smith whispering in your ear.
I am human and I need to be loved. So yes, open it up, sword at the ready.
You see Dave hovering there, and he just like turns, all his eyes focusing towards you. His mouth is stuffed full with every possible bottle of Ugolonak's knack.
Ugolo's knack.
Ugolo's knack, and he's just like and then disappears.
Do I not get the time to try and attack it first?
You can try.
I want to roll an attack. So that's an 18 plus. How the hell does this work? I've never used this before.
If it's a spell, if you're conjuring the sword, I'm guessing it's your spellcasting modifier.
It counts as a simple melee weapon with which I'm proficient. It deals 2d8 psychic damage, which is increased to 4d8 plus my dex modifier.
Okay.
So that's
I mean, you got to hit fucking
yeah.
Dave with that.
Yes. So 4d8.
It's a big sword.
That's a really good sword. I technically I can actually give it to someone else.
I mean, you've been pretty good friends with Dave for a while. Like,
He was a part of the curse.
A lot.
That was in him.
I got 19.
Well, you know how many hit points a Gazer has.
Not many.
Not that many. He
Hold on. Before you strike him, you open the door, you see him, and you're like, David, no!
Yes. Yes, I love it.
he's just got this surprised look on his face. He has got like 5, maybe 6 bottles of Ugolo's knack like shoved into his mouth, and shunk, and he just disappears into like the phasing out of a familiar.
Yep.
The 5 or 6 bottles drop to the floor of the cart and shatter.
Like jumps back out of the cart.
And you just see the whiskey element of it just sort of splash out on the ground, and just the vapors coming off it are just sort of like dark and tendrily. And then as the liquid sort of pours through the bottom of the cart and spreads out, and the alcohol starts to sort of evaporate out of it, that just sort of like breaks up into small fibers and small particles and dust and die.
I was going to wait about an hour or so.
It's like,
I'm assuming he knows how much the active time of the curse lasts.
yep.
Open all the windows on the cart.
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah, like however long that is, he's gonna wait that long.
It's that scene
put
in
some
like
yellow
first
tape
season,
around it.
Breaking Bad, where it's like the phosphorus goes off inside the van, and they've got to fucking vent it off for a little while.
You put like a scarf over your thing, and you're like mopping it out like at arm's length.
Yeah,
Put some yellow tape around there.
going through the whole cleanup process. Anyone comes nearby, he's like, "No, there's dangerous chemicals in there. Fuck off."
But yeah, you after the appropriate amount of time, you sort of go back in.
There's dangerous chemicals in here, but come back in a day or two. I've got some completely organic stuff to sell you.
Are there any bottles left?
You have 2 remaining.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Yes.
Welcome back, Narlag.
So, for the moment, those bottles are going to be set aside, like locked up
Yep.
in the special under compartments and whatever.
Yep.
Narlag's current job at the moment is just healing potions, poultices, antibacterial bullshit. Like just do I need to roll for that or?
This is something you can just do in essentially. This is downtime activity.
Rolling bandages.
Yeah.
You're doing things where you like actually like soak bandages within healing potions, so they become like a bandage with some healing properties to
Something
it
that
itself.
would do like a one hit, one damage type thing.
Yeah, enough to like it's basically like it's a bandage of PUBG. You're shot in the stomach, but you wrap it around your arm, you still get some healing out of it.
And what he's gonna do?
That's cool. That's a cool idea.
What he's gonna do with the remaining Yagolo's knack is
Suppositories.
find an alchemical
Jello shots.
Find an alchemical counter
Shots.
to
Shots.
to the liquid.
Okay,
Like he's gonna start like
distilling it out of it.
Using it to create an antidote.
essentially yes.
Okay,
That's cool.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's essentially now it's refined essence of Ugolanak in a alcohol solvent. Huh.
And Narlag's got his own weird, like
Everything.
not quite aberration powers. He's probably got something that can do something weird to that. So
Yep.
he's going to be experimenting, and that's about 2 liters of booze. That's
Yeah.
probably enough for him to learn something.
Okay. This is going to require some rolls, though. This will involve... This is intelligence. Because I don't know if that's going to be it.
I'm not very good at that.
But that's what... You're doing alchemy stuff. That's your learning stuff. That's not a wisdom. That's an intelligence.
You're doing science, bitches.
You're doing science, bitches.
I do have expertise in alchemy, which is good.
Yes.
Yes. So that is 17 plus 8.
Okay. You've got 2 bottles. One bottle you use to distill down and get the...
Essence de Yagolo.
Yeah. The eau de toilette of Golanak. And...
YOLO extract.
Yes. Yes.
Oh god, that's bad. I love it, but it's so bad.
Using that, you trial out several different tinctures. Basically, trying to make a vaccine, essentially. An inert state of this essence that you can use to
Inoculate others.
And the rest of it, using that, you sort of manage to sort of back engineer somewhat to it.
Got some rats there that you're giving them very metered doses of it.
I'm assuming this is going to be like it'll take weeks or months to properly do.
You've managed
but
to
this is-
managed to distill down this to be able to work your scientific level to.
Like giving some rats like really micro doses of it to like get them to build an immunity to it, and then cutting them open and taking their livers out and trying to like squeeze a vaccine out of their livers.
Oh god.
It was basically okay.
That's really the only way I could see like
Or like
Do you know? Okay,
injecting small amounts into chicken eggs.
well, do what they used to do, like pregnancy tests before the pregnancy test is they used to inject the
Yeah,
they
they
used
do
to
it
inject
into
women's
frogs.
they used to inject the urine of a possibly pregnant woman into a rabbit and then cut the rabbit open and see if their ovaries had grown. That was a pregnancy test. So there was a saying before, like
Fuck, science
before
is
over the
weird.
counter, like urine tests were like an easy thing to do. The term for being one of the like little code names or terms for being pregnant is, "I killed the rabbit."
Okay.
The other thing, like the
Science.
first vaccines were like cutting like the cysts off of. It was like a smallpox thing, right?
Yeah, people with cowpox.
Yeah, they were cutting the poxes off of like.
Small children.
Or anyone that had cowpox, because you could have that and survive from it. You would get the scabs and the pus, and you would eat it.
And
Or
that was the
or
vaccine.
if you wanted the lighter version, it was called inoculation then because it wasn't a vaccine. They would scratch your skin and then actually basically like bandage a flake of pussy scab onto your wound and let it.
Isn't that where the word vaccine comes from, though? Like, the Latin root of vaccine doesn't have anything to do with viruses. It has to do with cowpox, right? Like, yeah, that's... Yeah.
Anyway.
I just like the actual mechanics of, like, a
Yes.
low-tech, like, trying to come up with a vaccine for something is, like, it's kind of fucking horrible. And I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, science kind of crazy. It's a lot of guessing and testing, and then seeing if that guess was all right, and then making it better sometimes.
I like the idea of you having, like, a whole, like, culture of rats that you've... they're breeding, and so like the successive generations are keeping the Yogolo curse, and like then you're having to harvest them for vaccine. Like, I'm sorry, that's just, I'm writing my own little short
rats.
story. in my head, don't worry.
That's
You know the rats where they like get they get them to like grow an ear on their back. These ones here have just got like fucking tentacles sprouting in the back. They look like little sea anemones just made of fucking rat.
And a couple of them will have eyes in their little like their paws or they call it
mouths.
You cut one of the tentacles
mouths,
off their
yeah.
back, and that's like floating in a little bottle, and that's
like
like
a leech swimming around in a bottle of.
I'm thinking like when you get like infused like the olive oil infused with chili peppers, and it's
Or
just
like
a
the
little weird mutant tentacle floating.
the worm
in
at the
there.
bottom of the tequila.
There we go.
God, this is disgusting. I love it.
You're trying to cure elder god corruption. I don't know what you're expecting.
Oh no, yeah, it's fluff.
As night falls on this this would be after the first night of you doing this. Sorry, night's fallen. You've been working your way into the night. At one point, you're heading towards the point of exhaustion. You just need a break. You brew yourself a tea.
A regular ass tea.
A regular ass
Don't
tea.
confuse the cups.
And you step outside out the back door of your cart and take the little set of stairs that take you up to the luggage section on top. And you just sort of position things out there so you can sort of sit down and just look over the night sky that you can see for the first time in quite some time. Like you can,
The stars are out tonight.
there's actually stars out.
Stars are aligning.
You have seen stars for the first time since you've been in Barovia.
I think it's months now, right?
You've been here a couple months
Probably.
now. And I'm not even going to make you roll perception for this. There's two things you notice. First thing you notice is a mountain off in the distance. You can see the moonlight is illuminating the snow cap on the top. You can see down one side of it. There's this bloody streak in the snow, and you know which mountain that is. And you see a small avalanche rumbling down the side as the side of the mountain blinks. A large, rocky, craggy eye blinks. The other thing you'll notice is as you're looking south, which is a little bit further, if you turn a little bit to your left, you start seeing off south, and the stars disappear. The horizon is just dark.
Shit.
I don't think you're the cause of the stars going out.
I don't think so either. I think I know what it is though.
And you drop your teacup and it shatters on the roof of your thing and splashes hot water across your feet. Which you've not been wearing shoes; you've been wearing like open sandals at this point.
He was wearing like an arena mock-up, but I'm assuming Narlag's changed into just like regular.
That's going to be my next question, because you've also been milling over the idea of leaving Narlag behind.
Yes.
Have you started toying with a new form?
Yes.
Even if it's in its infancy?
Yes.
How would you describe it?
Literally.
Well, it could be. There's a 6 foot tall man baby.
Giant baby.
I haven't yet.
Baby
decided-
legs. Detective baby legs.
I haven't yet. I haven't.
This is the sound I gotta make when I run.
I haven't yet decided on the on the race yet, but I'm leaning just towards human.
Yep.
Because they have the most generic form. It's easiest to just change their clothes into that. And the hobgoblin.
You are sort
Jeff
of.
Humanman.
You have gone for the longest time being a showman, something that's going to stand out and get people's attention, and that has gotten you in
refuge
no
and
end of.
audacity and garishness.
And now you're thinking that possibly just disappearing for a little while might actually be the way to deal with things and repair things. Is do it from a position of obscurity. And you're trying to think of a mundane form in these lands, and the most mundane is human. It is the most common, without being,
Go
Boring.
Dragonborn.
Well, I've already got the voice down. I just need to get the appearance right.
And you're basically
You're just a simple country sorcerer.
I'm just a simple alchemist traveling around trying to make sure people can get by without no illnesses nor injuries.
Sometimes I can make a sun appear out of me head.
I'm a
can't
sparky,
really-
sparky boom man.
can't really do a
heading
Welsh.
very rapid to like
Heat.
yeah.
Oh, that was South African-ish.
It was also getting a bit Scottish.
Yeah, look, I can't do a Welsh accent.
Look at the size of that voice heat. It's virtual planetoid.
Like a Sputnik. Round but very pointy in parts. I can't do... Look.
I hurt his feelings. He's going to cry himself to sleep on his enormous pillow.
I love that movie.
It's so good, right? You knew what I was doing.
Yeah. No, I know that movie. That's one of my favourites. I'll watch that again.
I don't know if it'll hold up, and there's only so many times I can hear that song that they play over and over again. That "There She Goes" one. They use it like 6 times in the movie.
That song.
Yeah, but they used it a lot. They had the license for one song and they used it.
I'm assuming during this time, like, I've had enough rest to get my spell slots back. Okay.
That said, you're not feeling 100% still. You have some.
Don't go into a fight.
you
alright?
have
No. Like, I mean,
you have some resurrection sickness illness going
this
on.
This is like I need to send a message
Uh-huh.
to.
Oh, you need to send a message.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally sending a message.
Okay. Not this.
Sometimes it's not about work. Sometimes it's just about sending a message.
Yes.
Are you gonna put a horse's head in someone's bed? No. That's about sending a message.
I'm assuming like
Pissing on their front door. That's
like,
sending a message.
when we get back to Wick's timeline, this is going to be like after he's done all of his stuff and like just as when he's like about to sit down for dinner with his old man and have a good time.
You don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know.
Going to go find some whores.
Okay. You hang on to that thought and inject it at the right time. All right.
Okay.
Wick. Whores.
Horse.
Raven horse.
Yeah, I was about to say Raven. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
You're not going to go with the cuckoo instead?
Kenku.
Saucy cockatoo over there.
Look at them peacocks.
Ruffle
Why
up.
are you picking cock for every side? The cockatoos.
You'd like to
peacocks.
ruffle-
Maybe
Hey.
Wick is
Don't judge Wick. Don't yuck Wick's yums. That's hard to say.
He likes to ruffle some feathers.
All right, that's enough of that.
We're done.
Look, it says it right here.
Done.
Is that, like, there's a section on D&D Beyond that says done. I don't know. Is it me now?
It is you
It's
now.
me now. So Wick's flying back to Valaki.
Yep.
and I think his first stop is going to be the inn
Yep.
to check in with
The Blue Water Inn.
Irwin,
Yes.
just to make sure, see what happened with them through all the battle, and make sure they're all okay.
You appear in the in sort of that little rookery that at the top of the thing, which is basically where most of them approach the building when they're in raven form. Mm-hmm. As you shift back into human form, you can see Irwin, and he is being tended to by Danica, his wife. He's got a few injuries. Because I don't think you knew, but he joined the fighting force.
I think I specifically didn't go in and encourage him to do that, but I also didn't want to tell him not to, sort of thing. That was wasn't going to ask him to fight, but also like he's still Glad to see you made it through okay.
And you.
Oh, don't worry. That was nothing. That was just in and out, sort of like just.
That's just not in and out. You're one of the three.
Look.
The heroes, the Slayers of Strahd. There's a lot of names going around for you guys that I haven't quite settled on yet. I really like the Slayers of Strahd.
Yeah, it does have like an alliterative feel to it. I feel like
For Ulrich and friends, but yeah.
Well,
You're not there.
Look, it was just what needed to be done in the moment. I feel like anybody in a similar sort of position would have risen to the occasion. I don't feel like that. If there's like a sort of like monetary component of like a gratitude towards it, I wouldn't say no. But you know, that's just old Wick. That's just old Wick going to his old tricks. You know how it is.
I don't think you're going to be wanting for much. I would say you've got the favour of most of the country.
Yeah, but I mean that's like this country though, isn't it? Like it's a new world out there. We could finally like move on from this place, like spread our wings, so to speak, and get out there in the world. You know, like that was what this was. I mean, look, I know the family has always been here, but like we can leave now, can't we? It's not about staying here in the mists anymore.
Well, the mists have definitely risen, yes, but the country's still here, and this is a time for prosperity. We can grow and be a nation again for the first time in 4 centuries.
I mean, that's fair. I feel like there's a lot more out there for a young enterprising man like myself.
And there's a question mark on that.
Listen, I just wanted to check in and make sure everyone is okay. I was just hoping to pick up like some supplies and that sort of thing, because I was gonna head out to the woods just to check on old Mam. Yeah, you got the usual sort of supplies. I know it's been a little while since I've tripped out there, but I figure I should put in an appearance, sort of thing.
I can put together the usual care package.
Cool. I was just gonna just check in, you know, like just let her know not to worry and sort of get her to just come outside at all and see the sun. Like, you know, she doesn't get out much. She probably doesn't even know anything that's been happening. So like, I feel like maybe breaking the news and the good news sort of thing. That's probably what needs to.
How long has it been since you've last seen her?
Well, I've been busy with...
Because Danica's been the one taking the packages to her.
Yeah.
For some time now. You've been... Well, on the run, as much as you can be.
Yes. I didn't want to like, you know, bring trouble around there sort of thing. And it's sort of...
She misses you.
Yeah. She gets upset sort of thing. So, like, I didn't want to... She's going to be like, don't go out and steal things immediately afterwards. And that's, like, that's not... But look, it's been a while. It's been a while. I think it'll be fine. And this is time for celebration, sort of thing. So like, if there's like a bottle of the wines, like we don't usually take like one of the wizards of wine. Like, can we just like chuck one of them in there? Like, this is
Of course, anything for the Slayers of Strahd.
well, all right. Let's just put a pin in that. I'm interested in that sort of tone. But yeah, let's and I'm thinking like he's been healed by an angel, so I feel he's probably like pretty jazzed right now.
Are you finally going to tell her?
You mean the flappy sort of?
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I hadn't really like considered that as an option. Sort of personal sort of thing. I don't really like to talk about it if it can be avoided. Like, I mean, it might come up. I don't know. Like, there's a lot going on right now. It may not sort of be a good moment in the conversation to sort of.
I can imagine it'd be difficult to insert it into the rambling. Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. That is your decision. But I'm sure she would love to know that part of her husband still survives.
Yeah. Could I like borrow the cart horse you got? I don't really want to look at carrying the things and everything. It's going to be a little bit unwieldy to sort of get all that out to the woods.
Of course.
All right. Well, I might make a start while it's still light outside, and yeah, it's be good. Like, you get that looked at. I think there's like an angel over in the sort of battlefield sort of thing. You might be able to like.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to trust that thing entirely yet.
Oh, that's fair. He's got a glow stick sort of jabbed up his business. I wouldn't really.
I'll be
He's
all
had
right.
a right talking to from his god.
I'll be all right. Like, this is nothing. This is just a mere flesh wound. There are other people that need help.
Good to see. It's Danica, right? Yeah. Good to see you up and walking around after the zappy zap. I know that was it's a bad time.
Look, it was one time.
One time you murdered a family.
I murdered a crow.
Who was a part of a family? You murdered a crow. Well done. I saw what you did there.
Details.
So it's like, we're alive. The land has been freed.
It's like sunshine outside. Have you gotten a load of that? Madness.
You get some actually really strong bones now.
It's like so much vitamin D.
Stand outside like, wow, I can actually fight infection now. We're giving it a bit of time before we go fully into the sun. The old tales say it can burn.
It's superstition. I wouldn't worry about that.
As Wicked is like beetroot red, like every every British tourist that comes to Australia and goes to the beach for one day. It's just as red as this cable. Like, oh no, Australia sucks.
Yeah. I figure like I think Wick probably has like a change of clothes there. Yep. Get out of his straight up combat attire and into like
coated with some of his blood, some other things' blood.
Yeah.
Some dust. A lot of dust.
A lot of dust. Yeah, he sort of like gets more into like civilian clothes. Yep.
I'm assuming he's still got a fairly black motif.
Yeah, it's still muted somewhat. He's not wearing like a disco shirt, but you know. he's not he's not wearing like armor covered in entrails and stuff. He's going to
Yeah. Just wearing a dark shirt and dark pants and
yep, riding cloak sort of thing. That's part of his whole thing. I imagine Wick always is wearing a cape of some kind. To the point when he like transforms, like it's always like a cape sort of motif into the wings. Whether it actually does that or not, like that's just the way he sort of like
feels like it, like the cape becomes the wings, and that's how it works. Yeah,
That's how it works. Look, Wick is nothing if not a showman with his transforming into a raven thing.
After you sort of like dusting yourself down and like you've got your streetwear and everything on, it's tucking that crow skull pendant just back on the inside of your shirt. Sort of thinking about the fact that like that thing might have saved your life.
Yep.
This whole family curse thing may have actually been a blessing.
Yeah, I would imagine like Wick has always sort of felt himself a little bit of like he's always been like a bit of an outcast sort of thing, and like has treated the Raven thing more as being a freak. Like he sort of like has been accepted by to some degree by the actual Ravens. That's not like a common knowledge thing anyway. Aside from us knowing it, as a party, like that's not like common knowledge in the thing. But yeah, it's like it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Now he's just like, maybe that was important and meant to be.
Yeah, because the pendant itself protected you from damage, from being hit, and the ability to fly is.
It helped shake the like it flipped into clear recollection with the angel touching his head. It helped him break Strahd's curse in that moment. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that was huge.
By the time you sort of you're thinking of that, but Danica sort of knocks on the door to the cellar and is like, your mum's care package is ready.
Well, I suppose hero of Barovia heads out again, sort of thing.
This is not a hat that you wear happily, is it?
Look, you know me. I'm more a sneaking around and back alley dealing, sort of in the shadows, all darkness, sort of thing. This being in front of a crowd of people cheering's not like my thing, really. But I can get used to this, like adoration of the masses, sort of thing.
She sort of signals to this sort of bundled up sort of backpack sort of setup. The top of it's got like the bone end of like a pork leg hanging out the side of it. And you can hear the clinking of a couple of bottles as she places it down. Is like, well, say hello from me while you're there.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
And thank you.
Don't mention. Actually, no. You can mention it. It's fine. Anybody would have.
You and your friends have saved all of us.
Anybody would have done that. It's not like I was.
In 400 years, no one has done it.
Well,
You were being paid.
it was just a job, really. It was just another job, really. It's that. We'll talk about Slayer. I gotta ride. Like it's. I dig that as a thing. Like he's the hero. He's just like, oh, I've got to get out of here.
People are paying attention to me, and I don't like it.
That is not my jam.
People leave me alone.
Outside the inn is the horse that's normally there for the cart coming from the vineyard to the inn. It's been sort of saddled up, ready just for riding on its own right. No one else is around it though. And it's just been tied off to the nearest post and ready for you.
All right. I'll load up the care package and I'll start heading out to me old mum's house.
As you're sort of trotting through the main streets of Valaki, you can hear just revelry in all directions. There is celebrations. You can hear the sounds of like glasses clinking. The crowds of people just it's true celebration of the sun.
Yeah.
The sun is out. The mists are rising.
As a Jewel sort of like, as he sees like crowds of people, I think he'll like put his hood up sort of deep, also keeping the sun off his face a little bit.
This nice black hood. This is Gotham, California now.
Yep.
This sucks.
California goths. I mean, you say that. That's like, California doesn't have significantly better weather than here.
True.
It's Australian goths, but with American accents.
Yeah. But yeah, every now and then someone sort of spots and recognizes you, and like it's Wick.
And he'll just like,
The Slayer!
if somebody recognizes him, he'll just be like,
And then you
While stealing their wallet.
as you sort of trot past, and anyone that sort of sees you, sort of like they sort of bow in your direction rather than celebrating loudly. But everyone seems to be respectful of your wishes. As you approach the gates are swung wide open. The guards are just waving at everyone coming and going. There is no border protection. It is, it's a moment for celebration, and everyone is able to be part of it.
You see
Like, even
Tony
if-
Abbott in the stocks with just onions lying all around him.
And he's like, "Yay!"
even if like every threat isn't gone from Barovia right now, it's like everything is running, is fleeing in this moment. So like,
Yep.
this is just the like celebrating, and yeah.
You ride this horse out of town, and for about 20 minutes along the pathway before you cut to the left into the sort of forest where the sort of less traveled path winds its way through. It starts sort of cutting back towards sort of the walls of Valaki, but not that close, and then opens up into a sort of small clearing with this sort of not decrepit but just sort of aged looking hut. It's not a hovel, but it's just a pretty simple domicile.
Yep. Little shack.
There's a small mailbox that doesn't look like it's been used in years. Surrounding the house, there is just a simple wooden fence, and once would have been some pretty nice gardens, but they've long since just fallen into overgrown and weeds.
Turned a little bit grey.
Yeah. There is just a little wafts of smoke coming out of the chimney. There's just a little flickering of light coming from the inside. The sun is beginning to set, but is still bathing the area in
Yep.
sort of pre-dusk light.
I'll get the package and like sort of like head to the door and just sort of like do the knock knock and open the door sort of thing. Just being like, special delivery.
And you hear his voice, Danica, is that you?
Nah, it's me, ma'am. It's a wick.
Wissens!
I forgot he had a real name.
Yeah, I thought I was in the neighbourhood, and I thought I would sort of bring your package today, like sort of give Danica a bit of a break.
Please, sit. And she's like, sort of pushes herself out of this old, comfortable-looking chair that he looks like she is in most of her day.
Did you say Winston's?
Wissens.
Wissons? Yeah, I could see him definitely like turning that down to Wick.
My name's Wick, Mom.
And he's like,
He would correct literally anybody else and stab them for that, but like, no,
Yeah.
she
Yeah. It's your old ma'am.
She'll probably stab you first.
yeah.
over the hearth fire. There's this hanging cauldron just with this bubbling broth of just like it's like a pork bone broth.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
And he shuffles for you to sit down and then quickly sort of like rummages through this care package that's been dropped off and like, grabs a couple of various vegetables and bits and pieces, hacks a section of this like ham off and dices up in little pieces and just sort of like throws it all into this pot and just lets it sort of simmer for a little bit. It's like, oh my boy,
There's
where have you been?
Oh, I've had a couple of jobs around the place, sort of thing, like actual like
How's school?
it's all right. I feel like I've learned a lot over the last little while. So
You look like you've grown, but you don't look like you're eating well.
I've been real busy. I've been getting into on it.
Too busy to visit your old mum.
Well, look, I've actually got some very important news. I don't know. Have you been like paying attention to sort of current events going on? Has Danica been letting you know about developments in the world or like? Yeah, no.
I understand you're close to graduating.
Yeah.
Your father will be so proud when he gets
How
home.
old is Wick?
He hasn't seen you since you started back at school. Like he's got to be home soon. Please hang around. We'll have dinner.
Matt, he died before I was born. You know.
No. He's just out.
Look.
He'll just sit down. We'll chat. We'll wait for him to get home.
Okay. There's something I wanted to actually show you. You know, look. You remember all the Dark Lord ruling these lands with an iron fist sort of Strahd thing.
Oh, the pointy building on the hill.
The pointy building on the hill. Yeah. He's actually been defeated.
Oh no! Who killed him? What happened?
It's
The poor old man in the pointy house.
look. No, it was a vampire. Mum.
I love this woman.
He was
He's a what?
He was eating people and trapping us in this twisted nightmare scape. You know, we've talked about this before. You know, like
You do love your stories.
look. It's, actually, there's something I actually
I have
want.
been so much looking forward to you meeting your mum. I have so many of these ready to go.
Yep. It's like, oh no, she's a Trump supporter. I get it. That's fine.
No, it's not even that. She's just dotty.
Yeah. So actually, just if you just come, I know you don't come outside very much. Just wanted to like, if you just come out to the garden.
No,
I just
your
wanted
father
to,
doesn't like me going outside without him.
No, just this once. Just wanted to just show you. Just come this way. Like helping her up out of the chair and.
I don't want to be a bother.
No, it's okay. We're just going to step out into the garden and like. I'm actually going to talk to Erwin and maybe get some of the lads out here to clean up this garden. It's
Erwin's a nice young boy.
Young.
Him and his little wife. They look after me so well.
They're good. They're good. They're a murderer of good folk. Look, I just
Him and your father. Those two. They're such boisterous boys.
Boisterous.
So just like leading her like past the trees in the garden to like where it sort of opens up towards the west.
Sorry, I appear to have let things go a little bit.
No.
Your father's going to be so mad. I haven't looked after his favourite tomatoes.
I think it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Like
It's a good thing Danica always sends through new ones.
There being like a moment of her like keeping on bringing up the father and just being like that being like a slight revelation of like, oh, his soul's not trapped here anymore. That being like I think actually Actually, it's gonna be okay. And then like leading her to the edge of the garden where the trees sort of cut away, and it like has a view of the west and see like the sun like setting over the forest, and just being like, look, it's the sun's come out.
You look at that. Didn't know the moon was so bright.
Point of order.
What?
No one's that dotty.
She's never
She's never seen the
before.
sun.
That's a good point. But like, has she seen the moon?
No.
So,
Both would look roughly equivalently through heavy
like the
overcast.
biggest cascading orange sunset going on. Just been like, no, that's the sun.
No,
The mists are gone.
And what's wrong with the clouds? They're all blue and red and orange.
That's
There's no fluffiness. Has someone ironed the sky?
little bit. So look, it's just every day now. You get this every day now. Maybe
Oh, I don't know if I like this.
maybe you can start coming outside, and I'll get Erwin's boys to come
My
help.
father
Maybe
always doesn't like it when we burn the candles too long. I don't think you'll like this.
maybe like Erwin's boys can help you, and you can actually get out here and sort of in the sunlight. Stuff will grow here now. It'll be.
She's looking around Are you going somewhere?
Look, I may be going on a bit of a trip for a little while. Like, I know the mist. You know the mist.
Is it a school trip?
It's yeah. Actually, I feel like there's a bit of an education I need to get, and we'll be sort of traveling to get it. So yeah, it's
You've always been a good student.
Thanks, Mum. It's thanks. Look, that stew in there smelled delightful. Is that going to be ready anytime soon? We could maybe sit down and. I convinced Erwin. It wasn't easy. I convinced Erwin to put some extra bottles of wine in the care package.
Oh, and you see her eyes will light up a little bit there.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I could do with a.
So maybe we can sit down and have a nice stew dinner.
She sort of leads you inside, and basically like as she's like spooning out a couple of this bone broth stew, and it's it's a watery consistency stew. It's a sipping stew, but it's got nice like chunks of ham in it. There's some freshly cut freshly grown carrots and so forth. But it's also the rest of the stock has been boiling away on that cauldron for days because that was the way they used to do stews. They used to just cook them until forever.
Always at a low simmer.
And they just
So it
keep
never
on,
goes bad.
Because you can't go bad if it's always at the point where nothing can grow in it. And it's just like throw some more fresh stuff in there, scoop it back out again when it's warm, and off you go.
By the law of like mixing fluids is like there's bits in there from like 20 years ago that it's just never been scooped in.
Kind of like the pea and a ham soup from Alfred's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good pea and ham soup.
it's got the spirit of a good many pigs in it.
I'm just imagining a shitload of ghostly pigs just like popping out of it.
A bubble pops. Boink.
Your sound was better. It's the sound of ham souls. As she's sort of spooning up this broth soup into two bowls, one for each of you, you grab a couple of. Well, she doesn't have wine glasses, but it's just a couple of cups, and pour out a glass each, and then sort of sit down with a single candle between you, just sipping away at your soup and wine, and converse together for hours.
And it is at that point when you hear Narlag's voice in your head. We've got a bit of a problem. We need your help over at Barovia. Narlag, you can respond to this message.
Thank you for the for the Critical Role reference. You're also a bottle and a half of wine deep, so you're not entirely sure where this Welsh accent has popped into your brain. But the sign off of Narlag snaps you into sort of some level of focus and understanding. You go, oh, he's got a new one.
Oh, yeah. I'll telepathically sort of send back. I am taking a well-deserved rest today. I'll be with you to save the world again, maybe tomorrow or like next week at the earliest. Love, Wick.
Okay. It heads towards midnight. You're sitting on top of your caravan and start seeing just over sort of in your right peripheral vision, there's a sort of greenish, whitish glow. And it doesn't take you very long to dawn on this is the march. And you sort of stop and watch, and this one is different. This one is a parade.
They're doing a conga line?
No, but it's less of a group of damned souls marching into battle yet again. It is a parade of victorious troops returning home. But they are dead. They are ghosts. They are spirits. They are dead. But they are free. They are marching down. They are celebrating. They are, and they are sort of like you see the front lines. They are essentially like a marching band of sort of.
I'm assuming like there's been at least 100 different bards, and they're all just playing their instruments all at once.
There's plenty of bards that are in the group. There's basically every possible player class and ones that don't exist in D&D so far are in this march.
Flugelhorners.
Yep. But
Flippy dudes.
A centaur riding a horse.
with a cavalier,
Voltrons. There's a Voltron class.
there is a Voltron.
It's actually like 5 tabaxis that like contort together.
It's not just 5 warforged.
No, it has to be Tabaxis.
It has to be Tabaxis.
Because they're all lions.
They're all lions. It's Voltron.
The Voltrons are the
I've never actually seen Voltron.
It's fair enough.
They're warforged tabaxis.
You are a baby face.
And a baby.
All you need to know is that one of the lions forms the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. If I explain it now, it just feels weird.
They were robot cats that formed together to make a giant man
Yeah.
made out of cats
Made out of robot cats. With people inside.
with people inside.
That's exactly what.
Moving on.
Like I said, if we say it out loud, it sounds weird.
But it's definitely like one of the dark player classes that is here.
It's some Cronenberg level body horror every time it happens because those cockpits that don't stay the same shape. Those people are definitely minced and reconstituted people every time.
Those cockpits get thoroughly used.
And just hosed out afterwards. Anyway, you see this celebration of life, death, and finality go past, and you can see it snake off along the pathway, and rather than turning towards the castle like it has every night for the last 4 centuries, it continues on to Valaki. And you just see this long line. It's a marching line of at least a mile long. Just this greeny white glow. And
They're being like at the rear, they're being like a skinny human and sort of like a craggy dwarf, like trying to go like arms over each other's shoulders, but really the dwarf just has it around his waist.
They just keep on passing through each other.
They're ghosts. Ghosts can touch ghosts.
Ghost can touch ghosts.
Ghost touch.
But yeah, you do see, a couple of more sort of, a craggy dwarf. Is that the description? And skinny looking human. They're sort of
They're fast friends in the ghost
they are definitely celebrating. And limping along behind them, watching them, is Korik.
Physical Korik or
Physical Korik.
Okay.
With
Oh yeah, he joined the parade each night, didn't he?
he usually watched mournfully, yeah. And
Join
Sparky
the Black Parade.
and Sparky is sort of moving along beside it as well. He's walking along, and as the parade passes from Barovia, he turns and sort of spots you. There.
The sort of
You did it.
befuddlement of human features that is Narlag currently gives him a wave.
Also, he recognizes the cart because he was there. So he's like,
He recognizes your soul.
it's also, yeah. He's like, Narlag.
Howdy. How you doing, friend?
It's kind of a sort of mixture of emotions right now. This will be my last night, so that's a thing.
Last night here or last night total?
Both.
Do you know what's going to happen to Sparky?
I was hoping I would catch one of you guys before the end of the night, so I could arrange that.
Good thing I'm here.
He needs to get home,
Hey,
and I think he's almost strong enough to be able to do it.
any idea how exactly we do that?
Getting back to my homelands,
New Varuma.
get him down to the volcano.
Alright. We've got a couple of things to deal with on the way, but I reckon we can probably do that.
I don't believe time is going to be as abundant as you hope.
Me neither.
You see that over there, and he points towards that section over where the stars have gone out. That is Kronos.
Now, do I need to roll religion to understand what that means?
Yes, please.
Religion, I am proficient in, so that's 15.
I'm just thinking of different things.
That is one of the. That is one of the.
Kind of tempted to go drunken master.
That is one of the ancient beings of my homeland. It's not a god, but it's some god level of time.
Booger.
And he's been imprisoned
Right.
since, well,
Time immemorial.
before time was a thing. Because while he was not in prison, time wasn't a thing.
Fair enough.
Him being in prison meant there is time for us.
Hey.
Well, for you now. My time is up.
So, you see that mountain over there?
Yes.
That one with the eyeball on it?
He sort of squints and looks at it. That's new.
Hey, that's the thing we got to deal with on the way. There is a beholder in that there mountain. One of my former associates.
You pick him.
More accurately, they picked me. Shouldn't be too much trouble as long as we can do everything quickly, but I don't rightly know how strong the Don is. Sorry, he was me boss for a while. I called him the Don.
Right. On comparison to Strahd, stronger, weaker. Have we just substituted 4 centuries, 5 centuries of subjugation for a mountain that blinks?
The Don is
A creature that creates reality from its dreams.
he's a businessman. He prefers to make profit over ruling. So it could be we can delay it, but I'm not sure how much by.
Well, that certainly sounds a problem for you.
Oi, truly is. But I've got Wick at some point in the near future is going to come by and see me. So hopefully he'll be able to help me out with this. I'm not sure what Ulrich's doing, but I'll find someone big and tanky to walk in front of me.
Okay. I'm gonna go meet with the March.
Give him a hug.
I'm gonna leave Sparky with you.
Give him a hug.
No, more like it's not a hug.
Kiss him.
And he turns to Sparky and just like hugs in between like 2 of the heads and just starts like whispering in 2 of the ears. It's like, and you can't make out what he's saying. But then he sort of steps away and just like ruffles just behind the ear of one of them.
One of the heads is dumb. He doesn't bother telling that one. That's the one he ruffles. He tells the 2 smart heads, "This is your new master."
And here you go, dum dum. You got a new daddy, dum dum.
Before before you do actually go, is there anyone in your former life that you want me to talk to? Any messages you want me to pass on? I've done this for Sergei. I would like to make a point of doing this for everyone.
The only thing
Tell him how great he is.
Dreamy.
Tad's still alive, by the way.
He is.
We probably won't even need to do anything once you get back to Nova Roma. Like,
Hey,
Tad's probably done everything.
You could play Tad.
No, I couldn't do it justice.
Tad's the new guardian of the underworld.
Like,
I have 2 more heads now.
like, Tad, how much do we rock?
It's a triple Tad.
I love that. More of that, please.
Hello.
We need a 4th. We need to make this a quartet.
Hello.
This is a Tad on Trois.
Horrible.
He's a menage a trois all by himself. He's a menage a trois when he jacks off.
Menage a menage a
Yes!
menage a
Menage a Tad, there we go.
Menage a tat. There we go.
Alright, what Korik says, none of that happened. I've now got a really interesting fucking 3-headed giant concept.
Just a 3-headed guy that's so into himself.
Moi.
You're gorgeous. Bring it in.
The beautiful Etten.
Oh, it's like Fabio hair on one of them.
Fabio hair on all of them.
Well, I'm just trying to think of like 2 different.
Fabio hair, and then it's braided into one thing at the back.
It's like the most extreme mullet.
Anyway.
Yeah, Korik is he's like, the only message I would have is when you get Sparky back to Rome, to Nova Roma, let them know the ones that spirited him away from this were not the guilty parties.
I mean,
We did nothing wrong.
the one that was hunting you was Ulrich.
You might have to try and convince him.
He's a bit slow on the uptake.
You may have to work fast.
Like pictures and like.
Oh,
drawn
what does Sparky like to eat? What's a good treat for him? Oh, you know he basically eats any kind of meat.
Been a fan of werewolves up till now.
Anything as long as it's well done.
Human flesh.
One thing, and he grabs a like this metal's like shield out of his pocket and hands it over to you. It's essentially like a badge of his insignia from the watch back in Nova Roma. Like, give them this and tell them that this is the one. This is the one that protected Sparky.
All right.
You should put it on Sparky's collar.
Yeah, that's doing that.
And with that, Card gives you sort of a nod. It's like, get him home safe, and make sure he knows that I will always be there for him.
I'm sure where you're headed, you'll be able to come visit him anytime.
Oh, I sure hope so.
I'll have a word with Hades for you.
Hey, Hades. What up?
Hades, my boy.
I'm blanking out. What's the voice actor that did Hades' voice? And it's
James Woods.
James Woods. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
That fucking guy.
that fucking guy. Ulrich, you have been spending the day at the day and the evening basically working the camp. It heads towards midnight, and you've basically been overseeing the pyres and making sure that all the rites for all the basically every religion that needed to be present for it is there. You are yelling Mars's name over and over again because that's
Mars!
burn for Mars.
Well, I assumed we would do it all in like one big.
But
funeral
every-
pyre with,
like,
everyone present.
Every
kind of thing.
possible religion that could get shouted is getting
Yeah,
shouted.
I
Yeah.
figured there would be a big ceremony. Like we would have the Queen here and stuff. Like it would be. A big
Irina has
ceremony,
gone through
yeah.
said words before, essentially the firing of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
your sermon is just yelling Mars over and over again as loudly as you can to the point where it echoes off the mountain over the other side. And at one point, you feel like you've done it so loud that there's an avalanche on a mountain in the far distance.
I mean, I always feel that way. Yeah.
Around that time, you get the same message that we've got.
Oh, you sent it to both?
I can twin spell it, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can twin spell. You get a message in your brain from someone that you didn't recognize that announces themselves as Narlag at the end.
And that I totally remember all the message of.
We've got a problem. You can respond to this message. Come see me in Barovia when you can.
If I'm doing,
Mom?
it's probably just me still yelling Mars.
Narlag just gets
It's 25 words or less, so just like Mars, 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 Mars.
Yeah.
25 times because he doesn't realize he doesn't have to do it out loud.
Yeah, actually,
It's just that thing where you pick up the phone but you're still talking to someone else and he's like, "Shut up, kids! I'm going on the phone." Hello.
I'd say it's going to be exactly that.
So Narlag now has a headache.
Always has a headache.
What do you do?
Well, we start the pyres, I guess. Like if it's
That's basically underway.
Yeah, okay.
That whole thing is happening, and you've been overseeing that. Like the pyres have been built, the fires have been started, the words have been said. The
So what
fires.
were your
are
exact
burning.
words again? We have a problem. Like
We've got a problem. We've got a problem. Come see me in Barovia. Narlag. You can respond to this message.
I might go and tell Irina that I've been sent a message that we have a problem, and these messages don't usually get sent unless there's like a decent problem. So
You should see to that.
It's a third level spell slot.
yeah, yeah,
serious problem.
yeah. So just heads up in case we need any help at some point.
Okay, you give that message to Irene, and she's basically like, "Oh, please, like, do what you need to do. I hope it's nothing,
Champion of the realm.
too great, but please, like, as soon as you guys have done what you need to do, check in with me."
Yep.
I
okay.
need to know what's going on here. It's weird being a head of state.
Yeah.
You need to know things. All the things, like everything. I've got people coming to me all the time telling me about everything. And I've only been it for 3 hours. 4 hours, maybe. You start making your way to Barovia. Basically on
A
horse.
horse.
Because you can do horse.
I can do horse.
I cast horse.
You start riding on the road. You hit as you're riding from the battlefield. You hit the main road, turn left, and then you're greeted by a glowing parade of spirits, which you've seen several times before, but this one seems more jovial.
I get out my sword.
The ghosts have come for vengeance. And essentially, the front lines start coming along, and you don't really sort of get much. You don't really get a lot of. You get it's like echoes of sound to it. It's not like it's right there. It's mostly there, but not really. You can just like whistles and drums and everything coming along. But as they pass, it sounds like they're more like they're 2 miles away, even though they're right there. The parade just keeps on going past you, ignoring you entirely, and then continues on the pathway towards Valaki.
I just salute a few times and yell Mars and continue on.
Mars! It's like he gets paid per time he says it. Towards the end, you see two things that sort of grab your attention very quickly, because you've had an image of these two in your pocket ever since you started hunting them.
Ah.
You have a tall human and this ragged sort of surly looking dwarf.
Finger guns.
They are two that you basically have like the wanted poster of, and you've had it on your person since you were sent from.
I get out the poster and just put a little cross.
Draw X's over their eyes.
Yeah. Like, job done. Job done.
Payment acquired.
Quest complete. Like, how? As they sort of approach towards you, you see them sort of. The whole experience you've had so far is no one in that parade has ever acknowledged the living around them. They'll walk past them, through them, whatever. These two actually slow down and they seem like they see you.
I see them back. I look at them back. Yeah.
They stop, and they stop before you. Like, you're from home.
I was sent here to find you.
Why?
To take you back. To, well, actually, mainly to stop your party member, but you're
too late.
How so?
We're dead.
Well, yeah, it wasn't to stop them from killing you, just to stop him in general.
Are you talking about Augustus?
Yes.
Carrick took care of him. I believe Carrick took care of him.
Are you sure?
Not entirely.
Okay, well, I'm going to cross you off the list, because it's a bit hard to take you back now.
I imagine so. Well, I see you in the other side of the river.
Mars be with you.
What was Thedrum's deity?
Apollo.
Apollo's light.
I can respect other religions.
If they're within your pantheon, I would imagine
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
be like,
exactly.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're like,
the
Yeah,
whole
like they're brothers.
the whole thing for the Roman civilization was like, if you're like
Respect
a
all the
blacksmith,
gods.
you
Yeah.
respect all the gods. Like if you're a blacksmith, you generally pray to Hephaestus or Vulcan on a daily basis. You pray to the other gods on their special days. That's it.
Yeah. If it was in a different pantheon, it'd be like, Why not? But,
Who are you, peasant?
yeah.
At that point, now that they've sort of communed with you, you see them sort of just like arm over each other's shoulder, which is a lot harder for one than the other.
Touching his butt.
It's like
Everyone
hand around
squats down. Like, this guy doesn't have any weight anymore. You can just squat and walk at the same time.
It's just sort of Slavic.
Just like lower himself a couple of feet into the ground and be walking through the ground. It's a ghost.
Yeah. But as they sort of walk off towards the horizon, they just sort of fade and just blink out of this reality.
They don't have any more unfinished business.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And I think we will leave it with that.
Also, Ulrich died just then.
Massive heart attack.
He choked on a chicken bone that he was eating at the time.
But we'll finish it with that for tonight. Pick it up with meeting together with Narlag, seeing what you guys deal with that, and see how you go from there.
Fighting a beholder.
And that's this week's episode of the Sunday Sessions. You can email the crew at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com, follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Isolated City Gaming, and if you like what you hear, tell a friend. We're available across a lot of platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and on YouTube. Just search for Isolated City Gaming or the Sunday Sessions. Catch you out there.